Hello, my name is Dr. Cameron Garber. I am the longevity PT and known as the master of metabolism. So, because of the people who work with me, they train to become the 85-year-old that they were hoping to become. And they stop doing the short term things that lead to injury, burnout, and fatigue. For example, one of our patients had always been active, relatively healthy, done all the right things to stay fit, and did her very best. But she felt like she was exhausted. She tried everything over the years and just felt like the things that used to work weren't working the same. And the problem was that all of the programs, the gyms, the trainers, the meal plans, the influencers that she'd followed so diligently were all giving her short-term solutions, things that helped in the short term, but really weren't leading toward long term success. And she could see herself slowly turning into her parents. She wasn't sure how much longer she could keep up with these high intensity programs or following these things that weren't really designed around her from all the fitness gurus that she followed. But she knew if she did nothing, that everything she'd worked for over all those years, that she was going to lose that, and it would all fall apart. And so, what we did here at Body Smart was help people just like her and you to start training for the long term, to start thinking differently, and to zoom in and be able to take a real look at where you're at and zoom out and take a look at where you want to become or go with your life at 85, at 95, 100, and design a custom roadmap for getting there. And so that's really what we're all about here at Body Smart. So my journey, um, I want to share that with you and help you be able to see how we help people become body smart. I want to show you how I realized how that healthcare is totally broken and how it's wrong about injury, illness, pain, and how we get past those things. Then I want to share with you the realization that I had about what we really need to do to fix this broken healthcare system by having a personal roadmap for our health and fitness. And I want to share with you the three rules that I learned, the 30-30-30 framework. And that 30-30-30 rule is the key to helping you finally take control of your health and fitness without feeling fatigued, injured, burnt out, um, or simply falling short of your goals. So we unlock the secrets today in this training for you, how to become the 85-year-old you were always hoping to become and always thought you would, and then life kind of gets in the way and makes that seem a little bit harder. So we're going to help you figure out how to do that today. So I'm going to take a step back and share with you my journey as to how I kind of discovered all of these things, how I discovered healthcare was broken, when I received that realization, and how I learned these 30-30-30 rules. So here we go. This is me, handsome little devil as a little guy. Had awesome parents, grew up in a great family, had every opportunity in the world, and was really excited. Got my way through school, and shortly before this picture was taken, actually about 4 years before, I kind of became interested in physical therapy because I blew my knee out skiing. And literally from that point at 13, turning 14, everything I did between then and this was my high school graduation photos. I was pretty skinny. I think I was like 120 pounds soaking wet. Lifted a lot, was actually pretty fit then, but just skinny dude. Um, but everything I did from that point where I blew my ACL and had to go to rehab and, you know, go through all of those steps of getting back to the fit, healthy, active lifestyle, I realized I was in love with physical therapy and wanted to be able to help people the way they helped me. And so everything I did, internships, um, projects, every project in school, I would research physical therapy. I took college classes during high school, AP classes, all those things to be able to get done and get into PT school as fast as possible. So fast forward a little bit, I'm kind of a ready, fire, aim personality, and I got married pretty young. And shortly after, there's my beautiful wife, Shannon. Shortly after we got married, about a year later, we had this beautiful boy on the left-hand side. That's our son, Brigham. Max came shortly thereafter, another year after that. So here we are, this amazing family at 23 years old. I had 2 kids and was like, oh my gosh, I got to be done with school. I got to realize this PT dream so I can start making money and supporting this family. And so really fun. Just about this time, actually, when we took this picture is when I finally made it into physical therapy school. And I was so excited to make it into PT school and to be able to, realize that dream of becoming a physical therapist. And I really was excited to be able to help people the way I was helped. Um, and during PT school and shortly thereafter, as I was realizing this dream, we added a couple more little guys and a dog, and so there's my beautiful family. My wife was taking this picture, so she's not in it. One of my favorite pictures. I mean, look at that with the dog licking his face. It's just perfect. But those are my little munchkins that are not so little anymore. But as we were on this journey, I learned a lot of lessons. So my first job in physical therapy was at the University of Utah. Awesome. I had a great time, learned so much. But I also learned that some of the patterns in the healthcare system were off. So in this journey, I was tasked with building a wellness program. So I became the stroke team lead at the University of Utah and kind of ran the outpatient stroke program. And we grew that program to be really big. This was a fun picture because we had just moved up into our new space. We had added 10,000 square feet of new space to our gym and all this stuff. It was really fun to watch that program grow. And as part of that growth, we had to create a wellness program. And I realized during that time that really stroke wellness, we were behind the 8 ball. We needed to be doing wellness before people had their stroke, not afterward. And so, I tried to do some things there at the university and realized quickly that in such a large institution, it was hard to get something like that done. So I decided, okay, if here isn't the place, let's go out on my own, and I'll try to do it my own way and figure that out. And so, I tried a bunch of different ways. I tried the traditional physical therapy route, partnered up with another company and did some prevention and wellness programs and stuff with that other company, but we were still kind of working in the traditional physical therapy model. So I kept running into roadblocks. So I switched. I bought my own practice and tried cash pay physical therapy, thinking maybe we can, design this program in a way, or that our practice in a way that we can connect with people and help them through a cash pay system, so we're not bound to buy insurance. But the problem is, everything that I could find to learn more about how to do this cash pay system were these blueprints of how to do the same thing the same old way. Is just with cash, but it's essentially still the same old physical therapy in the same healthcare system, which honestly is more of a sick care system. So that blueprint didn't really fit what I wanted to do, and really it didn't fit what people needed. And that's because our healthcare system is fundamentally broken. And I think we all acknowledge that in some way, shape, or form, that we all see the different ways in which the healthcare system is broken. High costs and high costs of medications and all these other things, but nobody really knows how to fix it, or at least I didn't. So the solution finally hit me, that I needed my own roadmap to success, that I needed to stop following all of those other patterns. I bought course after course after course, trying to find the way, and trying to follow other people's blueprints of how to do things. In fact, the very first course I bought was actually called a blueprint. Um, Kind of funny. But that blueprint was following somebody else's path on how to get there. And that's when I realized my 30-30-30 rule for success. So here it is. Here's my 30-30-30 rule. In finding out that healthcare was broken, I realized that becoming body smart, what I really wanted to help people do is learn their body. Um, that means really finally doing real healthcare. But it has to follow a few rules that make it very different than traditional healthcare. So, number one, we have to stop chasing sick care symptoms, quick fixes, and the 30-day programs. So those short-term fixes, things you can put on the calendar, that's not really the solution. We don't actually learn from these short-term fixes. Traditional physical therapy is often 2 to 3 times a week for 6 to 8 weeks, and they get you back to about where you were before, when you got injured in the first place, and then they send you on your way because insurance won't pay anymore. And so we leave people on their own because it's a short-term fix, chasing pain instead of why they had the pain in the first place. The second rule then was to start taking the 30,000-foot view of your life and your health situation. Take a look at where you're at and where you want to go. Consider all of the patterns that lead to healthy living and map out your own path. And then you've got to invest and nurture in your long-term health outcomes starting right now. So we'll dive into a little bit more about what those rules mean and how you can apply them. But that's the 30-30-30 rule for health. So let's back up and take a look. So I want to give some context as to how I realized that healthcare is so fundamentally broken and how I came up with those 30-30-30 rules. So here's a quick rundown of how we got to our broken healthcare system we have today. So sick care past was kind of this idea of do no harm, but often they did more harm than good. They tried leeching and bloodletting and all these other kind of crazy things, but they did a lot of good in asking the right questions, starting mapping out the body, and giving people some framework for health. Sick care present is kind of where we are now. We're not really practicing healthcare, in all honesty. We have life-saving advances in health and healthcare where we can extend people's lifespan. So we've made people's lives longer, but we don't actually extend their health span, meaning we don't help them live healthier. We just chase symptoms and wait for people to get sick and then try to intervene. But the problem is we're behind the eight ball, right? We're chasing the symptoms instead of getting out ahead of it. And so we have, amazing drugs, amazing surgeries, things like that, but we don't focus on helping ourselves live well. So the future of healthcare really is here. And we really can start practicing healthcare. We know enough about why we get ill that we can start extending not just lifespan, but health span. We can help people live healthy and prevent and avoid illness, injury, and the things that get in our way so that we can live not just longer, but live better while we're alive. And that's what becoming body smart really means. And so, unfortunately, I was raised in the traditional healthcare system, um, and I learned some bad things from that. So what kept us there and kept me there in the past was I used to see injury, illness, and pain, especially pain, incorrectly because I was trained in that sick care system. We waited for people to have pain and waited for that pain to become debilitating before we really intervened in a meaningful way. So I want you to do me a favor and think back to the last injury you had, or maybe the injury you currently have, and think, how bad did it or is it sidelining your health and fitness? What is that injury? How did it hold you back? Was it something that was keeping you from doing the things you love to do? Is it something that makes you in daily pain and makes it hard to concentrate and do the things you love? Um, have you done something for it? So I used to see pain of my patients and my own pain as the problem, right? So pain was my main problem or their main problem. But the thing is it's actually not true. Pain is not your real problem. So I used to tell them awful things about their pain too. Things that you've probably been told, like, oh, you need to stop running, or oh, you don't want to overdo it, or you're wearing out your joints if you do things this way or that way. All kinds of things that simply weren't true. Our joints don't wear out. We can't really overdo it necessarily. We can overload ourselves, but not really over move. There are people that move more than we do. So it's about finding balance in how much movement your body's ready for. The truth is, our body heals itself. It doesn't stay forever broken. You're not still feeling your high school injuries or car accidents or things like that because your body heals. We may be feeling the lack of movement because of that injury that we stopped moving because we were afraid to, or because we had some short-term limitations that we never really addressed. And so that is maybe more of where we're suffering from. But as long as we build our bodies back up to handle the movement and handle the load that we're placing on it, we can really heal from just about any injury. And so our real problem is that we're not taught to do that well. And we're told these things like, oh, you don't want to wear things out. We're told these messages that are fundamentally wrong about our bodies. And so if you think back about your pain and the problem that you've had for a while, um, a lot of the messages you may be telling yourself or that you've been told by well-meaning healthcare professionals may be somewhat wrong. So think back to that pain that now that you're having right now or that you've had in the past, and think, what made me finally decide to do something about it? What made me finally decide to take action? Was it the pain, like, oh, my knee's just killing me, or was it something deeper? I would argue that really your pain is 3 layers deep. So it's not just the pain on the surface, but what made you finally take action about your pain is something much deeper. It's kind of like a volcano ready to blow. Some people will be in pain for, weeks, months, years. So when they come in, I'll often ask people, tell me more, like, how long has that been hurting? What's it keeping you from doing? And what made you decide to finally do something about it? I ask that because it's what they're missing out on is why they actually realized they needed to come and visit. This lifestyle restriction is what made them finally decide to take action. So that lifestyle restriction was kind of what funneled all of that pressure building up to finally blow. It's the bottleneck of that pressure, really. So then I ask something a little bit deeper, right? So it's not just your knee pain. Then it sounds like it's because you weren't able to go on that golf trip or go on that hike, or because you're not able to pick up your grandkids anymore. All kinds of things like that, right? I then ask, what does it mean to you about you that you can no longer do those things? And that's that internalized meaning. And that's where the pressure actually really comes from of why we finally decided to make that change. That's when we see the eruption, because the real reason why you did something about it, even if you didn't know it, was that you don't want to maybe turn into your parents, or see you not be able to be the grandparent you want to be or parent you want to be. It's, seeing you miss out on activities with friends and loved ones. Those are the things that actually cause that pressure to build up. And so we say we're coming in for pain, but really it's more about the things that I'm missing out on in my life and what that means to me about me that I'm missing it. And so what do we do now that we realize the real reason why we're deciding to take action is something much deeper? Um, well, we can start to address the real problem. It's not really a problem of pain, but instead of lifestyle. Our lifestyle is getting restricted and we're becoming somebody that we don't want to become. And so how do we address the real problem? It's much deeper than just pain. So I always say a good physical therapist will take a look and say, okay, like, you've got some knee pain, so we're going to treat that knee pain. And it'll help short term. They'll do some things, hands-on treatments, and do some things that help alleviate that pain. But really, again, it's not the deeper problem. A good physical therapist will take a look, an even better physical therapist, I guess, will take a look and say, okay, it looks like you've got some problems with your hips, and we want to get you back into doing the activities that you love again and things like that. A really, really good physical therapist, a really good practitioner is going to say, really, what you have, the problem you have, isn't just the lifestyle restriction of getting back to your sport, isn't your pain. The deeper problem is you don't have a exercise or fitness routine that addresses your overall health and fitness in a way that keeps you from getting injured. So that's what we really need to do, is build a long-term plan for you that's going to help keep you healthy, fit, and safe, that addresses your whole life and lifestyle. Again, we want to start training for the 85-year-old you to be able to do the things you want to do long term. So usually it's a lifestyle problem. If we get fit and build up our capacity for our bones and joints and muscles and tendons to be able to handle the load we're placing on it, we really can overcome any pain or any injury. But if you haven't exercised since the Clinton administration, um, and it's been a few years, and then you go and get a personal trainer, or you sign up for the latest, greatest class or course or influencer, you're either going to burn out and give up, get hurt, or just bite off more than you can chew. And so that's often what we see, is because we're following somebody else's plan. We're following someone else's blueprint. So once I realized that a real problem isn't a pain problem, it's a lifestyle problem, then I realized we needed to solve the lifestyle problem and stop chasing pain and illness like our current sick care system does. And, in ways that keep us feeling sick, burnout, and injured, we need to create a real lifestyle. And all of the other programs do this by creating blueprints that you follow. Instead, let's stop following the gurus and the things that make us follow these patterns that are robotic and impersonal, these blueprints that don't really help us figure out our lifestyle. It's simply following their plan out the door. Instead, we want to create a plan that stops seeing just short-term results and fits our life and lifestyle, that helps us address the rivers we have to cross, the hills we have to climb, and the bridges we have to go over, that really fit what we're looking to do, and doesn't focus on quick change that gets us, too big of a change where we get overwhelmed, burn out, and then bail on it. Instead, let's work on getting a long-term view, your personal roadmap, instead of gathering a bunch of blueprints that we've failed and it just piles up and piles up of all the things that we haven't succeeded at. Let's create your custom roadmap where you can check off success after success, and we can actually get to your place of success, where your address of your final destination really is, and not someone else's. And so in discovering that 30-30-30 rule, that's exactly what we found, is that we had to create your own custom blueprint. Because think about it, as you're training to become the 85-year-old you, I want you to write down, what are 5 activities I still want to be doing at 80 or 85 years old? And think, okay, if I want to get there, then what do I have to start doing now to be able to be successful? So once you think about that, it really helps you reframe, what are the patterns that I have to start living? What are the things I have to start doing now to be able to get there then? So these 5 patterns are what we follow on our personal roadmap. So we help you explore your eating pattern, your movement pattern, sleep, stress, and gratitude and happiness patterns, so that you can create that custom roadmap and find out what your patterns are of healthy living, so that you can get where you want to go in your life. Let me tell you a story of a client of mine, actually, who really, this story fits all of the patterns. So she started with plantar fasciitis, some foot pain that was really holding her back. We got her going with some good exercises and on the right track to getting rid of this plantar fasciitis. But we found, as we were tracking her different patterns, we found that she had these huge Wednesday meetings that were throwing everything off. So I asked her, okay, tell me more about these Wednesday meetings. Let's see what we can find out in your patterns leading up to it. It turns out she was responsible for delivering all of these numbers at this big Wednesday meeting, to everybody. And when she delivered these numbers, it was really like super stressful for her, and made it so she didn't sleep very well the night before. And then she would not get up and exercise because she was too tired. And then all of that stress led her to not really love her job. And she would reward herself after this meeting with a burger, shake, and fries. So it's not that the burger, shake, and fries or any one of those things is like a huge game changer, but when we saw those patterns fitting together, we were able to make some subtle changes. Like we said, okay, what about those numbers? What if you prepared the numbers starting on Monday instead of Wednesday morning, so it didn't stress you out as much? And you emailed everybody that was going to be at the meeting and said, what numbers would you like to see? So you can prep them ahead of time, get those numbers to them. And that solved everything. She was able to take care of it all beforehand. She was able to sleep well the night before because it wasn't stressed, because everybody already had the numbers they needed for the meeting. She was barely called on. It was super unstressful. She slept well. She was able to exercise that next morning. And instead of going and rewarding herself with a burger, shake, and fries, she was able to, eat that meal that she had brought from home and planned to eat. And so she was able to fix just that 1% little change of switching the order in which she did stuff throughout her week. And it solved everything for her and really fit each one of those patterns. She was able to move better, eat better. She got better sleep. She was less stressed, and she liked her job better because it was not so painful. So by making small 1% changes in her day, it made huge changes in her outcome. And it was based on her life and lifestyle. And so that is the process about how you become body smart. So we stopped chasing those sick care symptoms and quick fixes. We didn't give her more pills to take. We didn't have her, do a surgery or, whatever else you might do to try to fix the different problems she was having with her feet or with whatever else. She was able to get back on track with her workouts so that she could solve her foot problem. She was able to eat well so that she wasn't putting more load on it. She was able to start losing weight and really had success because we stopped doing that first rule of the 30-30, the short-term fixes. We focused more on her own roadmap and her patterns. And so she was able to see success and grow. We also were able to zoom out and take that 30,000 foot view of her life and look at her patterns and then considered where she wanted to go and what the steps were that she needed. So we stopped doing the short term things. We zoomed in and zoomed out so we could see where she needed to go. And then she started investing her time, her money, her effort, her energy into nurturing her long term health in these subtle, simple ways. And it made big dividends, big payouts for her. So it wasn't instant success, but it was about taking these little steps forward and following that 30-30-30 rule that led to that path of sustainable success. So that's what becoming body smart is all about, is setting that foundation to living well and living longer by mastering this 30-30-30 rule. And so it takes some time and it definitely takes some guidance. And so here at Body Smart, the way we help guide you to learn that 30-30-30 principle, as well as finding your pattern, your roadmap to living well, we call this the 4 pillars of becoming body smart. So you test, you learn, you practice, and you share. It's our framework of helping you get to where you want to go. So let's look at test and the value of this test part of the program. So becoming body smart performance index is the first part. We do VO2 testing where we test your body and see exactly where you're at. So exercise metabolic testing, VO2 testing, resting metabolic testing. We do a video gait analysis and this body smart performance index where we look at your mobility, stability, strength, and power. We help you know exactly where you're at. All of these tests are designed at learning exactly where your body is at. Altogether, that's worth $1,300. You get 2 rounds of testing in our full Becoming Body Smart program. The next pillar is where you learn. And so here, again, a lot of value. We have our learning library of tons of step-by-step guides for fixing all of your pain, all of your problems, and learning more about running, about cycling, about exercise, how to apply strength training to your body, and helping you get the result that you want to get. So our learning library, our pain courses, where you can learn exactly for back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain, any kind of pain, you can find out exactly what you need to do to eliminate that for life. And then as part of this program, you get that custom tailored Becoming Body Smart course. It's a 6-month long course that takes you through exactly what you need to do for sustainable health change. It's the best way to measure exactly what you need to do to make those changes in your lifestyle. And it takes you through the steps from avoiding and overcoming injury all the way to getting back to your life and lifestyle so that you can do all the things that you love to do, and do so in this step-by-step course that guides you there. So again, $2,600 value there with all the elements of the learn part of our program. Then we've got practice. So putting all of these things into practice, we've got customized exercise programming. So we work with you based on your testing and give you custom exercise programming that really fits what you're looking to do and where you're currently at. So we help you build on where you're at and where you want to go. Again, we use that 30,000 foot view rule to help us see what is the exact plan for your body. We have expert coaching calls to help dial that in. You meet with us on the regular, whether a call or an in-person visit. We can help you become who you want to be and get the skills, mindsets, everything you need to be successful. Then we have our 5 patterns tracking packets, where we put those 5 patterns into practice and help you learn how to manage those things and make those 1% changes. Then we have our lifestyle design workbook that helps you be able to know exactly what you want to do with your life and lifestyle to get to where you want to go. All of those combined, again, about $5,400 worth if we were to sell these things separately, that we've bundled all together in our Becoming Body Smart program. And then finally, when you've really mastered something, when you really are getting good at it, then you can share it with others. And that is the last pillar, is that high level of learning where you have a private membership app where you get a PT in your pocket. Basically, you get direct access to us. The studies have shown that if you reach out to a PT at the first sign of illness or injury, that you can save so much money that way. So on average, about $5,000 you save when a PT is the first point of contact with an orthopedic injury. And so you get access to us through our private membership app. You also get our live group calls. 3 times a week, we hop on live group calls where we educate you on the latest, greatest info on health and fitness. We have our life design call. We have our what's happening in health and fitness, and our avoid and overcome injury calls. And they are so helpful, and they help people stay on track and really doing what they love to do, and then sharing what you've learned. Once you have mastered that, you can share with our group. People post their wins and where they're stuck or frustrated. And when people can share with one another in that private membership group, that is priceless. And so all of that value gets stacked up in there as well. So all together, there's so much value, but we add in some other bonuses. With those, your workouts are delivered right to your watch or your phone. We give you a heart rate strap so that you know exactly where your heart rate is, so that you can use those metabolism tests to know exactly the right way to work out for your body. We give you our gym in a bag so that you have all the equipment you need to be able to do the workouts that we're going to assign you, and get a good start. We have all of the live group calls. We podcast those so you can get the replays of those, so you can listen to those anytime and even share those with friends. And then you get lifetime updates to your course. And that way, anytime we update anything, you'll get those updates for life. So you always get the latest, greatest information from Body Smart. And then our lifestyle troubleshooting manual is a bonus of all of the other videos that we wanted to include in the course, but that we felt like didn't really have a home in any one area. We gathered those all together and created a really awesome manual for troubleshooting your life and lifestyle, so that you can get where you want to go in and be healthy, active, and fit. And so we use that when people are stuck in certain ways. We'll direct people to those bonuses and those pieces of the lifestyle troubleshooting manual, so that we can customize this program to you. So all in all, with all of those bonuses and everything you get, tremendous, tremendous value. Without the bonuses, just the programming alone, it's $16,300. We've talked about selling it for 5,000. In fact, that's what we're going to do soon. But we've been trying to kind of beta test and help people find out more about becoming body smart, since we're wanting to get this information out and help people learn that 30-30-30 rule for their life and lifestyle. And so we have 10 slots remaining. We set out a goal at the beginning of the year, and we have 10 remaining slots in 2023 that we want to sell before we have to bump up the price to $5,000. We're getting so busy now that we just can't afford to do it at that $3,000 price point and give you all of the bonuses and all of the time, attention, and care that you get in this program. It really is so much of our time trying to help you, and your time investing in your health and wellness, that it is packed so full of value. And so we want to help you be able to get everything you want out of this program and get everything you want out of your health and fitness, and stop getting stuck in the sick care system, and truly having a healthcare advocate here with us at Body Smart that can guide you through the journey of getting rid of pain, of living your best life and being healthy and well until you're 85 and beyond, so that you're not just living longer, but living better for the rest of your life. So if you are interested in learning more about this program, about the different pillars of how we help you get there, about our patterns and our 30-30-30 rule, we would love to talk with you. book a call with one of our experts by clicking the link at the end of this call. So when this wraps up, this training, there will be a link for you to click where you can book a call with us here at Body Smart, and you can hop on the phone with one of our experts that will help you find out more about the program, answer all of your questions, and see if this is the right fit for you. We would love to have you in the program and love to help you become Body Smart. There's the update of my beautiful family, and we're trying to live healthy, happy, active lives, so that we can all get there to becoming the 85-year-olds that we want to be as well. So we want you to join us at Becoming Body Smart and be able to let pain and worry of pain and the setbacks that we see so many people in our lives today being held back by. We want that to not be your problem and for you to be able to live your best life. And so thanks so much for joining us on the call today. Make sure to reach out and book a call with us so you can get the benefits of being one of those last 10 remaining slots. Like I said, it's not a matter of saying like, we only have so many slots. It's not a gimmick. We really can't afford to do more than 10 more people at that price point before we have to bump it up. And so join us at that price point so that we can help you get all the benefits of becoming Body Smart here in 2023 and beyond. Thanks.